Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow Real Estate Institute of Canada broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. Today we picked up a topic of pride of home ownership. Having a home brings a lot of pride. Not only that you feel good about owning a property, it also helps you're building your equity in the house. When you are renting a property, you are paying somebody else's debt. Whereas when you own it, and about 40% of your mortgage amount goes toward principal. And depending on how much you put down to carry a house, it will help handy. Especially under these circumstances where we have challenges arranging mortgages and managing the finances due to increased interest rate in mortgages. Over the years, who have bought the property, owned it for a few years, they have built in equity. And by having that equity in there, you are able to borrow money under a home equity line to carry on to live there. So you don't have to sell your home. I give you an example of that. If you have more than 50% equity in your house and you are in a difficult situation, you may be able to obtain a increased line of credit. If you have not used it, you can create a home equity line of credit and draw money to pay for this. Those who have used home equity line of credit, their payment has increased. I give you an example of my own. When I have let's say for example, $300,000 line of credit that I use over and above my fixed mortgage, and I was paying, for example, 2.45 interest rate. And now that has become 7.2% prime rate. So I'll triple. So cost has gone from 500, 550 to almost 2,000 for the same amount of money that I borrowed. Example. So how could you pay it? Because you are paying, perhaps, I'm assuming, that you have negotiated a good interest rate and fixed the price at lowest rate, like I did. We were paying about 1.5 to 1.7% in mortgage. I was fortunate to negotiate my renewal early 6 months. So I got a better rate, 5-year fix. But I'm now paying for the line of credit a little bit more money because it was a line of credit, home equity line. So any saving that I realize from the equity actually is going toward the line of credit payment for interest. Therefore, I am not saving or increasing my equity, but it's helping me to pay the payment on variable mortgage or line of credit. So if you didn't have that option, you didn't have build your equity, then you could be in trouble. You will have no choice but to sell it. But after selling it, if you rent it, I just rented a condo unit in Vaughan. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 3-piece with a kitchen built in, about 510 square feet. You know how much? Approximately or exactly? $2,350 plus utilities. So if you have a family, you have no choice to work around, work with your lender to make sure you stay in your house. If you have to rent a basement with 2 bedroom in Mississauga, for example, you'll be paying over $3,000. And let's assume that you own a house now and you are paying about $3,000 mortgage. And imagine that. Selling house or your home make no sense. We are getting towards the end of the tunnel where we have gone so much increased interest rate. Based on the 2022, 66.5% Canadian own their homes. Percent of Canadian own their homes. 66.5%. And it went early in 2018-19, went to about 68.6%, but it's gone back to 66.5%. So percentage is very high in terms of home ownership. And how many people in Canada own homes? Over 10 million households own homes. Why? What is the saving that we have when we are investing in any activity, whether it's a bond or stocks or real estate or other? Every 10 years, your prices of the real estate has doubled based on the statistic available from Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. Double the price. It's safe. You got to have a shelter for the family. And you have to live. You need a place. With the current economic crisis that created shortage, it has to do with the supply and demand. Somehow our three-level of government has not put together a comprehensive plan or strategies, developing infrastructure, rapid transportation within the city, so they can develop smaller city beside the main highways, accessible through fast train, so people can move out. Many of the first-time home buyers that I have dealt with in 23 or 22 or before, we moved them out of the city because they start growing their family. They can't live in a condo apartment. They want to have a yard for their kids. Plus, you can have a nice home with warranty available, because this crisis has created a lot of challenges for the builders to continue to build more homes. Affordability is a big issue. Cost has gone up. 35 to 40% cost, including labor, has gone up for the new construction. And therefore, if you think that the price is going to go down and you want to sell your house, it's not going to happen. Also, sometimes I have experience as well where client insist for a higher price. And you have no choice because they are the principal. We have to obey them. We have to pay attention to their direction because that's our ethical, professional duty to follow the instruction of our principal client, buyer or seller. And problem with this, some situation will be that homeowner who bought the home in a very crisis time. When the prices were high, and unfortunately their circumstances changed, they lost the job, or they only thought to negotiate 1 year variable mortgage. Oh, next year we're going to get better. But this was the unpredictable timing where Bank of Canada started going up, increasing the interest policy rate. It affected the mortgage. It affected every Canadian. 1/3 of the Canadian were seeking mortgages, renewals. And they were expecting that the bank will give them the same rate they have. And they were nervous. And this is why you saw that lots of sales, our inventory start increasing now. When you talk about home ownership, homeowner either own a detached home, semi-detached, condo apartment, even the landlord who rents it as an investor also own it. And sometime, if you own a property and you are able to stabilize it, that means you are able to carry forward this turbulent time because rent is going up. If you are able to manage this period of time, even though inflation is continuing now, not to the rate that where our Bank of Canada wanted it, but I am predicting that in 2024, we will have a little bit reduction, if possible, the inflation rate go down further to meet the projection of Bank of Canada, and toward end of 24, we might have some reduction in interest rate. Otherwise, we are moving toward 25. But during this turmoil, if you are able to sustain, cut down all unnecessary expenses, travel, trips, special trips, buying new cars, any major expenses, replacing furniture. I know we always get that desire to change and update. I rather update the flooring, kitchen appliances, countertops, something that will give you enhanced value in the future and keep the value of your property. Spend some money on landscape if you are able to do that. And you remember that home ownership, when you own it, not only that you have to maintain the house, you also have to cover expenses. And in the beginning, my advice was that when you are carrying a house and your appreciation is more than the carrying the cost, so you have to continue. But if carrying cost is higher than what the increase of the value of the property is, then you have to think about that. But the thing have changed a little bit because rental has gone up. And what you going to do with the money? There is a tremendous potential for the buyers. We're going to talk about sharing some data again about sale prices of other things. So you have to cover the mortgage expenses. Can you believe it? Based on the percentage who have a mortgage, rental 41.2% have a mortgage. Own with a mortgage 35.5%. Own without a mortgage 23.3%, lucky one, no mortgage. But we always have different expenses. Kids are going in a higher school, professional institution, medical, science, engineering, where you need to support them. You need cars. You got to borrow. Parents have to do that. Under these circumstances now, parents are helping their kids to get their higher education. So they get paid later or get some support from the kids when you are at a time when you need some help. I'm spending a lot of, we are spending money to help our kids to get the higher education. And this, we all parents do that. And cost of carrying a home ownership depends on where you are. Property taxes will be different. Remember that the Ontario government has disintegrated some regions, including Peel, and city will have to absorb, renegotiate all these terms as of January 1st, 2025. Anticipate some increased cost. Under the Municipal Act, they cannot borrow money to operate. That means all expenses has to be paid by the citizen or residents of that city, because city of Mississauga is becoming city, its own, no longer Peel region starting from 1st January 2025. Therefore, they have to plan everything. There could be some police, waste management, school, other areas where they need to cooperate, water, and there are definitely some discussions going on. They have to separate from each other. There are capital investment from a Peel region. So there will be lots of negotiation going on. But it's going to impact the city where you own the property. So now, this is very important. In normal case, when you are a young person, you are staying in a condo, depending where you are. Then you get engaged, sometimes you get married, so you may have a 2-bedroom condo apartment. You're looking at about 800,000 plus almost in Toronto, and similarly maybe 50,000 less in 905 area. Then you want to move from there to condominium, over $1 million in Toronto and close to 950,000 in 905 area. Then you talk about SAMI. You're looking at 1.25 to 1.3 minimum in 905 and maybe 1.456 million in a 416 area. Detached, unlimited. There are so many. You have a 3-bedroom with single garage or double garage, size of the house, it varies. So you have to get a very specific report. I'm going to share the report later on with the program. So then also depend where city, where you want to buy it, and where you are now living there. Because if you are planning to downsize or move away because of relocation, because of job, lots of our transaction has happened, transition in business because of technology transformation had happened, where lots of IT people can work remotely. Lots of bank IT supports are working remotely. The banks and even they have given support to overseas sources. So they're working overseas, or some people who are in here in Canada or Ontario, they're working from small city. They don't need to go to the office. So their best choice will be not to buy anything in the city, buy a good house, detached home, below 2,000 square feet in a small town with 10-year warranty. Why not? And this is how business is transforming. Technology have changed the way how conventionally we do business and how homeowners have to deal with these challenges with the home. When you own a house, there's a lot of pride of ownership. Everybody knows this is a tough time for everyone. Idea is tie your belt and work hard, maybe extra hours. I do multiple things because I want to maintain, I support my family, my kids for higher education. So I have to work. So is you. And I'm very proud that I'm a homeowner. And obviously, your spouse help you. And is a team of two working together to enjoy the home ownership together. You have to pay utility bills, you have to pay property taxes, you have to pay insurance, home insurance. If you own a car, one or two, you have to pay insurance for that, home insurance. These are all related to home, especially for the self-employed like realtors. We we have to drive out. Sometimes the client, sometimes they meet you, sometimes you pick them up, you can drop them off, you have a conversation. So this is cost, and we don't get paid until deal closes. If last minute deal doesn't close, we don't get paid. And still, you need a house to live because you have a family, kids are going to school. So idea is, what is the challenge that you will have as an owner that you want to deal with it? It is to deal with the carrying cost. So this we're going to talk about the a little bit about age group. For example, I'm going to talk about the age group. 65 and over, 79% own the house. So seniors. And 35 and below, 35 years old and below, 38.7%. So that means the older generation have made efforts not only to to enjoy their life when they were young, support their kids for their education, provide them all the amenities they need, enjoy their own life, travel around the world, and also build equity in the house. And eventually, before they reach a point of no return, they will be sharing that wealth with the family or kids to help them out. So you have to decide not to give up, but go through the turbulence time. I think we are getting toward a point where we will be getting out of it. We have a couple of more months, maybe quarter next year. Hopefully you will see the rise of prices. So always look about how expensive the home ownership is versus renting it. You're a homeowner. You always find out, and I always suggest to all the viewers, if you own a house and you face some challenges, we all face challenges. Life is about challenges. There is no guarantee of life for anyone. So why would that house be? So think about this. If it's possible, borrow money from family, borrow money from the bank, borrow money from friend with a low interest rate, borrow money to build your basement. You can rent a good basement now, almost $3,000 in Mississauga. I bet if you own a house for a while and you even have a mortgage, it will help you carry more than half of your mortgage based on increased interest rate. I'm sure you have done it now for maybe 2 years. I do not recommend people to go more than 2 years for now, because 23, 24, and 25, 2 to 3 years. 25, definitely there will be a change. But if you sell your house now, you're going to have a hard time to buy it in 25 or 26 because cost of construction gone up. I was looking at our manual. If you go to a builder to build a home, it all depends on quality of construction. It can range $375 per square foot to $500. It all depends. Per foot, above grade. Basement will cost you about $100 per square foot. And this is very, very important for you to remember that if you are able to borrow money, and you don't have to return that money, all of it, you can get a second mortgage for that. But at least you can generate about, depending on, I'm talking about Mississauga now, definitely you can get $2,700 to $3,000 income from your basement if you create 2-bedroom, living, dining, kitchen with laundry, with a building permit. And also I emphasize that you are allowing a family to live in your basement. If you live in a basement, I request you to apply to the city to get a building permit. If you need any help, call me. I'm a consultant with Park Home Builders because I got all the qualification for HCRA, so registered as a builder. We also have a renovation company who can give you a free estimate how to build your basement and get that income to supplement your income until you are turbulence time. When you have a building permit, it may cost you consulting work amount about $2,000 plus HST to design and apply for the building permit. You have to pay for all the fees. But once you have a legal basement apartment, your value of the property goes up. You will recover more than the double amount of money that you spent on your basement once you have a legal second dwelling. Plus the benefit of that is that you will have ability to sell your home faster. You can get whatever price you want because everybody looking for second income. And mostly there was a property sold in Cooksville about over 1.345 range. A semi sold that because it was a brand new, they totally renovated it. And this is the benefit of that. You carry expense, but it helps you to pay your mortgage. We're going to continue our conversation after the short break.
मशक़ी तहज़ीब की खूबसूरत दास्तान, बरसों से चली आ रही रिवायतों का पासबान, खुशबू और जायके का वही कदरदान, करते हैं हर खाने में अपने लज़्ज़त का एहतमाम। हर पकवान है बेमिसाल, हर खुशबू है लाजवाब। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, जायका ऐसा कि दिल जीत ले। आज ही हमारे कढ़ाई पॉइंट तशरीफ लाएं और अपनी खुशियों को हमारे संग मनाएं। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, मेड विद क्वालिटी and flavored with passion.
Popeyes has opened a brand new location in downtown Vancouver. Satisfy your craving for Cajun at this new location off West Georgia and Hamilton Street, where you'll find all your favorite Louisiana-inspired menu items. We sampled the unrivaled trio of sandwiches, the classic, the deluxe, and the blackened deluxe chicken sandwich, and all were delicious. All of the signature fried chicken is marinated for 12 hours, then hand-battered and breaded, served with Cajun fries and mac and cheese on the side. Plus, for a limited time, you can try Popeye's Crispy Chicken Wrap, available now until September 3rd. Check out the new Popeye's location at 700 Hamilton Street today. Who are you bringing with you? Tag them in the comments.
This is the latest opening in BC for Popeyes, with more openings coming soon in both Alberta and BC by PLK Group.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
आदाब, नमस्ते और सत श्री अकाल। जब भी बात होती है कार एक्सीडेंट की तो हम तलाश करते हैं एक लॉयर को, और हमारे पास मौजूद हैं चैंपियन। जी हाँ, डेविड हेमोफार।
Yes, thank you. I'm David Himmelfarb. I have over 30 years experience in personal injury matters. We have a downtown Toronto location with over 22 lawyers to service you. And we speak your language, Urdu, Punjabi, and Hindi. We have a great community liaison, Anjum Qureshi.
आप हमें कॉल कर सकते हैं 416-570-0157.
HK Movers, home, offices, apartments and delivery, big or small, we move it all.
HK Movers.
Local and long distance, we also ship cars, Keller transport and moving services.
For service with a smile, give us a call.
Call Mr. Harminder 416-524-6704.
416-524-6704 पे.
Visit 140 Advance Boulevard, Unit number 10, Brampton.
Long distance moving specialist.
HK Movers. HK Movers.
मैं नासिर शाह आपका मॉर्गेज ब्रोकर। अगर आपको मॉर्गेज चाहिए किसी तरह की, होटल लेना है, मोटल लेना है, गैस स्टेशन लेना है या किसी प्लाजे में कोई यूनिट बाई करना है, तो उसके लिए आप हमें कॉल करें। हम दो चीजों की गारंटी करते हैं, आपको बेस्ट टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन और बेस्ट रेट दिलाएंगे। आप कॉल करें 647-741-9000 647-741-9000।
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, एलजी, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं, जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
मशरकी तहजीब की खूबसूरत दास्तान, बरसों से चली आ रही रिवायतों का पासबान, खुशबू और जायके का वही कदरदान, करते हैं हर खाने में अपने लज्जत का एहतमाम। हर पकवान है बेमिसाल, हर खुशबू है लाजवाब। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, जायका ऐसा कि दिल जीत ले। आज ही हमारे कढ़ाई पॉइंट तशरीफ लाएं और अपनी खुशियों को हमारे संग मनाएं। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, मेड विद क्वालिटी and flavored with passion.
Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir. I'm a fellow of Law Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. We were talking about what's happening in the marketplace, pride of home ownership. I was just, during the break, I searched. Our inflation in August jumped from 3.3 to 4% in August. That is not a good indicator. That means it's going to force Bank of Canada to increase the policy rate. Right now, our policy rate is 5% or overnight rate by Bank of Canada. Our inflation is 4%. And their target is to reach it at 2%. In July, we were 3.3, and before June, we were 2.8. So it has climbing up. Our supply is there now, but everybody has increased their cost. Therefore, they're not willing to reduce their cost of material, because their inventory cost is high by shipping costs, transportation, logistic, moving within the city, across the province, across Canada. Shipping costs have increased. You go to grocery store, you try to buy things, you see everything is expensive. Similarly, clothes, shopping, whatever that you want to do, everything is gone up. So is the construction cost, material, and labor. 35 to 40% an increase during the last 1 year. Therefore, how do you see that prices are going to come down? It's not going to happen. Our prime rate now is 7.2. When I borrowed money for my kids, interest rate prime was 2.45. Now is 7.2. So cost of borrowing is really the challenges. And this is why it's very, very important for you. You take a lot of pride on home ownership and you want to maintain that. Your kids are going to the same schools. So what are the choices? You look at the rental income. How much is going to cost you to rent your house? I bet if your mortgage is $3,000, you'll be paying over $5,000 to live in that house. If you calculate the cost, interest, property taxes, insurance, everything, it's going to almost break even. So what is the purpose of selling the house? Don't sell it. And this inflation going up again, that means reduction in interest rate will be prolonged for extended period of time. I was talking to you is that an average price, a TREB report, Toronto Regional Real Estate Board September, which I shared with you, is 1.724 million for a detached home. It doesn't even tell you it's a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. It doesn't tell you where. Cost varies from house to house, location to location. How real estate works is you have a city, you have a community, then you have a street. So you look at start from the street, what's going on. If you want to know how to maintain and be vigilant about your virtually, call my office 905-785-9923 or WhatsApp me 416-451-3489. I subscribe you to my virtual service that updates you about what's going on if you have to buy or sell. It's very, very important to know what's going on. It's important for you to keep update. If your rental is higher, you're going to end up selling it and renting it higher. No sense of doing it if you're staying with the same city because you have kids living there. If your affordability is an issue, you have absolutely no choice because you are eating up your equity and it's going to really hurt you financially. Then it's time to sell it. But then when you're selling it, at what price you are selling it? How much you bought for it? How many years you carry it? Did you build an equity? How much equity you have? Are you breaking even? Because you can't afford it. So there are a lot of challenges there for a homeowner. You take a pride, but you take a headache too. But that's a part of our life, struggling with our life and challenges that we face all the time. As long as we breathe, we're not 6 feet under, we need a place to live and enjoy our family. So take a lot of pride in home ownership. If you have any challenges in terms of real estate or mortgages, call me. My services are free. I will guide you what to do, to give you advice. Because I'm a broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. I'm a broker of record. And also I'm principal broker of Canada Express Mortgage Inc. License number 13421. I'm licensed in mortgages, so I can guide you what to do and how to do it to manage it. I want you to enjoy your home as much as you can. But if it's a situation where you can't, then it's better to make a decision. And I can help you to make a decision. Call my number directly, 416-451-3489. We have a couple of hundred episodes on YouTube, Realty Coffee Talk at YouTube. Subscribe to them, learn. Start learning today before buying and selling real estate. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. My name is Tahir. I'm your host. Thank you. and bye. May God bless you all. May God bless Canada. Thank you.